if I'm married to you, I want to help build the empire that we both deserve. It's not going to be the empire you want, no, because now we're in this together.
Yo, what's up YouTube? My name is Shishu Zed. I am back in here with another Kevin Samuels reaction video for you guys. We've got a new guest with us here today. Please introduce yourself to people. Let them know your name, your age, and where you're from.
All right. I'm Whitney Danielle. I am 25 years old and I'm from Indianapolis. So.
Okay. So today, guys, we're going to be reacting to a video by Kevin Samuels. The video is called Guess What Happens to Modern Women Like This. Now, right off the bat, we've both seen the video. And overall, just to give some context, we had a girl, she was 21 years old, raised up by her father.
So how to be a wife, you can learn that from your mother, yes, but I was raised by my father. But I could say that my father taught me how to be a wife.
Right. And she was engaged, but decided to turn down the engagement after accepting the ring.
Well, when were you engaged?
I was engaged like 2 years ago.
Did he actually propose and drop to one knee and give you a ring?
Yeah.
And you accepted the ring?
Yeah.
And then how long after accepting the ring did you break the relationship up?
About 1.5 years.
Right.
Right. And then Kevin Samuels' perspective on her was like, hey, lady, you're too masculine.
Like I always think, therapy, counseling is always good because there's no reason to be this masculine and this aggressive at 21 years old.
First initial thoughts about it. What did you think?
Okay, to be honest with
Overall, give me an overall perspective. How'd you feel leaving it?
I could say it was a little disrespectful. I don't know. It was just the way he was talking about it. The way he reacted, it was just... I forgot to ask. Have you heard of Kevin Samuels before? Not as much. That was kind of like my first time listening to him, but already off the bat, like I was just like, I mean, he makes a few good points, but then there's like...
Was that your first time ever listening to him, or have you heard of... You've heard of him, right?
Not as much, no. I'm gonna be honest with you, no.
You've never heard of him before? You can say no.
No.
Just don't lie.
No, I'm being honest with you.
By the way, guys, this show, I'm changing the name of the show. It's called the No Cap Show. That's the name of the show because this show is full of cap.
Okay, here's my thing. Can I put my input on this?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I here's my thing, because I grew up where I'm cool with my dad. Like, that's my best friend. But he taught me certain things like, okay, this is how you need to be when it comes to a man, and this is how you don't need to be. Now, I agree with what he said in regards to the whole engagement thing.
No disrespect, sir, but if you was saying what you're supposed to, and when hell he let his 19-year-old daughter be married to a Foot Locker manager?
Oh, he wasn't letting
Adidas.
He didn't even like the person.
I did agree. Like, if you didn't, I think she was a little too young to get engaged.
What did you disagree with?
I just didn't like the only thing I didn't like about is that, you know, you can't tell somebody how to love or how they should be in their love life. Like, if they wanted to be together and get married, okay, by all means, that was on them. But I just don't like him just trying to judge her, or just basically trying to say, okay, you're very masculine. Like, you know, man is gonna want to be with somebody who is acting like a dominant person.
So just let me tell you this. She did call in to ask for advice. So I'm not sure how much you know about Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
But she did call in herself to ask for advice.
Yeah, that was the wrong advice.
Well, okay. Before you said she shouldn't have judged, right? He shouldn't have judged her. So now knowing that she called in herself, what do you think? Do you think he's wrong for giving his opinion?
I mean, yes and no, only because I say yes.
Could you get more in the frame a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I say yes because, you know, she did call in for her opinion. But my situation is that how you said it, you know, like, I know he probably keeps it real. He be honest. Like, he's not he seemed like that type of person. Don't really watch him like that. But I just feel like he should have went a little different route on what he said or how he said it.
Do you think what he said was right? Do you think she was too masculine? And by the way, I forgot to ask you, you're going to keep it real this whole time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think she was too masculine?
I don't really think so. Like, I have a little masculine in me. Like, to be honest, like, I'm going to be the type of person that's like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I take it. So if she felt like, okay, I don't think we should get married, or I don't agree with this right now, then that's her decision. Like, you can't tell her, okay, well, you're acting too masculine, or you're way too masculine. You're taking all the control, or you're acting this way or that way. And as for me, with my father, he's a pastor too. Okay, so as a preacher's kid, I am taught the right way and the wrong way.
So let me say this. So this had to do with her man, right? When it comes to men, let me ask you a personal question. Do you want a man that's going to protect you?
Of course, yeah.
So in case you're in danger, you want your man, do you want him to be a bitch? Or do you want him to protect you?
No, I'm not saying. Okay, I get what you're saying.
It's a simple question. It's not a trick question at all.
Yes, I don't want him to act that way. I don't want him to be a bitch. But
okay.
At the same time, I'm still gonna stand my ground. Like,
so let me tell you this. This is why I asked this question, right? Men generally don't like masculine women. They don't like masculine women because.
What's your opinion?
It's not my opinion. This is just most men, because they're attracted to femininity, right? Men are masculine. Men carry themselves like men. Those masculine characteristics, those are male characteristics. So when a woman exudes masculine energy, she's acting like a man, and it's a turnoff.
What would you consider a masculine energy for a woman, like, in your opinion?
A woman has to understand the dynamics of a relationship. In a relationship, there has to be a head, a leader, and there has to be somebody who is kind of like a vice president, someone that's like following, right? But there has to be a head. Do you agree with that?
So you're saying that a female always has to come behind the man all the time?
Well, if he's a bitch, then...
No, but you just said, okay,
I was being facetious there, but let me keep it real. If he's a simp, then yes, the woman will lead. But you just told me that you want a man that's going to protect you. Do you want a man?
But that's the thing. I said I do, but also at the same time, I can still protect myself. I'm not saying, come on now. Like, are you gonna want a woman that's doesn't know what to do when it comes to a certain amount of, if it comes to a certain situation? You're not gonna want your woman.
No, we don't. No, see those women that like want to fight with their man, not clueless. Just play your role. You don't gotta fight.
What role is that? What role is that? You say play your role. So what role is that?
The role is the feminine role, right? You can't be feminine and masculine at the same time.
How can you not be feminine? Okay.
Let me tell you this. You've worked a job. Are you working right now during the pandemic?
I'm working.
Okay. So you have a boss, right? Okay. Do you sometimes walk in there and say, hey, today I'm the boss?
No, because I was put into, when I got that job, I went for the job that I wanted to go for.
Okay, but since now you got the job that you got, you're not going to go in there and say, hey, today I want to be the boss.
That's not the same as in a relationship though with a man.
So in order for things to run smoothly, they have a boss. Why? So that there's one person making decisions.
So I'm gonna
follow me here for a second before you respond.
Okay.
Imagine you're in a relationship, right? And you have two people who think they're the boss. Do you see how that could create problems when there's not an obvious leader?
Problems when there's a lot of businesses and a lot of companies that do partnership. You can't just let that. It can always be partnership. Why is it always got to be the man being in front?
Name a business that doesn't have a boss, so an executive.
There's quite a few places. Okay, you gotta make me think about these things, but okay. now you got me thinking now, because there are quite a few. Now, you have, because there are some companies that are brothers, some are like cousins or something like that, like Ben's and Jerry's. Like, that's a company that's run by two brothers, right? Just because they're males, though, but they're in partnership, though. So, like, there are places or there are ways that it could be equal in the relationship. Like, why can't it be an equal thing in that relationship? Why does it have to be the man being in front? Like, why can't that just be an equal thing? Why does it have to be, oh, the man has to be here and then here the female is the vice president or is right behind the male?
Ben and Jerry's are owners of their company, right? They own those companies. They're not in there running those facilities. In those facilities, they have supervisors, right? And then they have bosses they have management, right? They're owners. So I'm talking about, there is no other place in life where you can name where two people come to work together where there is not a boss. No other. If you look at basketball, you have a point guard, right? I use this example all the time. If you look at a plane, you have a pilot and a co-pilot. Right?
Okay.
Two people can't drive a car at the same time. Why is it that when it comes to relationships, women want to play the head? They want to be right there equal with the man when no other part of life works like that.
But you got to also think, and this takes this way back. We have fought against where when it comes to voting, when it comes to certain things, we always tend to be put in last. Like, why do we always have to be at the bottom? Why can't we be right there at the same level as the male?
Let me be clear on something. I'm not talking about a tyrant.
But
I'm not talking. Listen for a second. Let me finish. I'm not talking about a tyrant and somebody who's just a straight up dictator. But here's what I'm failing to understand, right? You literally right now, you can't name any other part of life where there is no leader, right? If it's at a church, there's a pastor. For those churches, they have conferences. You know what I mean? There's a president for this country. Think about that for a second. Every other part of life has a head and a leader. That's the masculine role. But when it comes to relationships, it's supposed to work differently.
But this is the thing, like, even in those leaderships, yes, if they have like vice president or like even with going back to the point like the co-pilot, they're still working as a team. They're still working.
I'm not saying that. Work together.
But I just want you to understand, like, as a masculine woman, like, you can't tell her, hey, like, okay, yes, I get it. We want you guys to be protective. We want you guys to do this, do that for us. We get that. But at the same time, there are certain things that you guys can't do all the time. Like, we're going to have to step in and
listen, women do have roles, but my point here is there is a head. You just said as a masculine woman, right? What women need to understand, and these are the conversations I usually have, is like, hey, maybe I need to play a more feminine role so that things can work smoother. You don't have to be in competition. You said as a masculine woman. That's like two people trying to drive the car, the steering wheel. That's like two people trying to be a pilot. There will always be a co-pilot. And for some reason, like, I find that especially when it comes to like the Black community, a lot of women aren't really comfortable with this. You know what I mean? Which is why my channel's
what do you mean, like not comfortable with this? Like, with us not being, like, what? Being masculine, or just like
with letting him with submitting to a man and letting him lead and acknowledging that he is if he's going to be a protector, if he's going to die for you, then he is your leader. A man brings more to you than you bring to him. You know?
Mm-hmm.
What do women today have to offer men?
There's quite a few things we can offer to men. There's always times that we cater to you guys. We make sure you guys are always set, making sure that these things are done. Yeah, I do.
Then you're the exception, right? And that's nice. We run into women all the time who refuse to cook, right? Because they'll say, oh, I don't want to play that. I don't do that gender role stuff. You've got hands, you cook for yourself. But going back to that dynamic of masculine energy, picture it this way. If someone who was gay, a gay man, came to you and started hitting on you, would you be attracted to that?
If a gay man hits on me.
Yes, and you can obviously tell he's gay. I heard this example from another podcast. And you can obviously tell he's gay. Would you be attracted to that?
How would my question is, why would you, a gay man coming to me though?
It's a hypothetical question here.
But
I'm trying to make real. Would you be attracted to that?
I mean, how would I know if he just, it just depends on like.
Okay, now
let's be. I mean, I'm being technical here.
Here comes the cap. Here comes the cap. She's avoiding.
I'm not capping.
She's avoiding.
I'm not capping. I'm not capping because let's be real. If he knows he's gay and he's doing that, why would he approach me?
My question. I'm asking a simple question here. If a gay man, it's a hypothetical question, meaning we're just making this up, right?
If a gay man, different one.
Nuh-uh. If a gay man came up and hit on you, you wouldn't be attracted to him.
Well,
and that's why you don't want to answer.
Come up to me.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is when you come to a man with that masculine energy, right? That tough energy, where you're trying to act like a man, like the woman in the video. That's the way men feel like. That's the same way they feel like. They feel turned off the same way a gay man would hit on you. We ask like, why is she even talking to me? She's acting masculine. Gay men act feminine. It's okay. But I'm just saying, gay men act feminine. They carry themselves more
if they act feminine, why would they go approach me though? Going back to your example. No, I'm just kidding. I got you. I'm just kidding.
Welcome to the No Cap Show, people. She started a sign language. She's doing everything now to avoid admitting the truth. Wait, so you get to this point.
I do agree on that. I would say I do agree on that. I do understand because it's like, why would you approach that? Like, why would you approach me in that manner if you're gay? I do agree with that.
Do you get what I was trying to say?
Yes, I do get what you were saying. Like, I get when
women are acting like a man when they're in their masculine energy, and that's why it
not all the
turns
time. Not all the time.
I'm telling you right now, from a man who's listening and having these conversations all the time, when a woman comes up and she's acting like the woman was in that podcast, being disagreeable, argumentative, unpleasant, she wasn't really even smiling like that. She would just laugh just to kind of like joke around.
Right.
That stuff isn't very feminine and what men are attracted to. Do you see why it was bad for her to be in her masculine energy and what he was talking about?
Yeah.
You see why men don't like that?
No, I see why. No, I do see why. But I wouldn't say like everything, like I'm just saying that I'm just playing a little devil's advocate because I do agree with that, but I don't feel like everything she was saying in the masculine way, like.
Okay, maybe it's not everything, but overall, that type of energy, you could see how it could be problematic.
Yes, I just didn't like the fact how he was saying it to her. That was just my situation. Because I do agree, like, there are females that be like very, very masculine. Like, it comes to that point. I do agree with that because I came across them and I'd be like, okay. But they were grown up with a single father. Like, it's just, that's what they were raised. That's how they were taught. They haven't really been around their mom as much, or, they've probably been around their mom, but it's just like confused on, okay, how do I need to do this since it's
the real problem is that those women didn't have dads in their lives.
Right.
And those mothers had kids with men who were irresponsible when they shouldn't have had those kids. Right. They should have picked men who were responsible, because when you're young and you're growing up and seeing how your mom interacts with your dad, that's the way you learn, like, okay, let me not do that. My dad doesn't like that when my mom does that. Wait, let me do that. My dad likes that when that happens. So because they can't see a woman being a wife when they're growing up, then they don't know how to be a wife to a man. And that the woman who they grew up with, their mother, she's trying to be a man. So she's trying to fill both roles. And she's being masculine, so she thinks it's okay to be masculine. And it just repeats the cycle, and keeps on going.
Yeah. The whole video, like, from watching it, it just like, it is like you have to really think about it. because you don't tend, some females, they don't tend to try to be masculine. They just think like, okay, I'm being very independent. I'm on my focus, on my grind. Like, you don't have to like try to cater to me all the time. And it happens because I do that to myself sometimes. Like,
you kind of be too masculine with them.
Just a little, only when it comes to like my work or like me like focusing on my grind, my hustle, like what I need to do. So working as, a marketing coordinator for my company, I'm making, I'm putting that stuff first. I'm still young. I'm young.
Let me tell you something. So here's something you should know, right? The reason why and I'm just telling you this because you sound like you're new to the content. The reason why these are so popular, right, these conversations, is because 1 in 4 black women will marry in this country. 1 in 4. And so people are having conversations about, well, there's a large percentage of black men who are just not marrying black women. And when we have conversations about this, these are some of the issues that black men have, is that black women are just too masculine. They don't understand that dynamic of power and like being able to balance, being a good co-pilot, right? Celebrating a leader. It's not a bad thing. You're supposed to have that in your life. And that's why the conversations are, kind of.
I mean, I'm not really new to it. I wouldn't say that for myself, but I got you though. I know what it's about. Like, I've seen it. Like I said, like this is not like new content. I would say like this new to guys, like that's new to me, but like it is a difficult situation for us black women because we're at the bottom. Okay, at the end of the day, we feel like we're at the bottom. And
why do you think you're at the bottom?
Because you got to think about it. In this world, it's always been, let's be real, you got the white man, white woman, black male, black women. Like we're really stepping up to the plate. We just want you guys to recognize us because we're not getting as much recognition. We didn't get that much recognition.
Why don't you think black women are getting recognition from black men?
I'm not saying beforehand, but we're getting better at it. Like I said, I'm not trying
to ask a tricky question here. I'm trying to figure out why you think black men aren't marrying black women.
Because they just feel like we have to. Again, with this topic, we have to be in the back all the time. Like, we have to.
Why does it have to be negative? Why do you use the word the back?
I'm not saying it's negative. Again, like I said in the beginning, like it should be more of an equalship, not in a way of like, how I told you. It just makes more sense because we can't just always be in the back the whole time. We've been in the back too many times. Like. And as I'm saying, like in the back, like we always do, yes, let's do this, let's do that. There hasn't been time where we want to do stuff for ourselves.
As a black woman, when are you in the back?
When it comes to, like when a relationship, when it comes to that, you guys expect us to always just do the cooking, the cleaning and everything like that. Like,
how is that the back? As a wife, you're supposed to want to.
But not.
No, listen. As a wife,
but in a wedding, but when you're getting married,
Give me a second.
50-50 for better or for worse.
Listen for a second. As a wife, you're supposed to want to do those things. Do you see what the problem is? Let me finish.
I'm not saying that we don't want to do those things. You're twisting the words, but you're twisting the words now.
You just said we're in the back and we're cooking
things. I never said we don't want to do the things. We have no problem doing these things. Most of us were taught to do those things. Trust me, because my mother has taught me well how to do.
So why do you feel like you're in the back because you have to cook?
Hold on. The only thing we feel in the back is because, yes, we do those things, but also at the same time, we should take a step up. And sometimes you guys got to take a second and look out for us. Everybody always expects us to look out for them.
Do you think
we want to feel supported by you guys as well? Like, what's that got to do?
Black men don't feel supported by black women.
Why you say that?
Because you just literally, the way this conversation started, you didn't want a black man to be his natural place as a man, which is a leader.
I never said that. I said,
in the beginning,
when you first asked me, you said, you want your man to be protecting you, right? Did you ask me that? And I said yes.
And then you asked for equality and partnership, and that's what we spent the majority of this time
But the thing is, though, it's not. I said the quality of the partnership, but there's gonna be a lot of things that it should be in partnership together. Certain things, yeah, there's gonna be more dominant more than the other. That's only because we were taught that way. But at the same time, it should still be equal. When you get married, right? They say what? For better or for worse?
There is no equal between man and woman.
Gotcha. I got
let's have this conversation. Let me tell. No, really. There was just a fire that happened across the street over here. You know what I saw? Men in fireman suits putting out the fire. Right? When you're in trouble and you have a fire right there in your place, you're not gonna put it out yourself. You're gonna call who? You're gonna call firefighters.
You don't know me.
So you're gonna put the fire out by yourself.
But why is it always gotta be firemen? There's firemen too.
Policemen. I know, but a small percentage.
Policewomen.
A small percentage. It's less than I think like 7%. Yeah, it's less.
There's still police women out there. There's still firemen out there. I'm not saying you're making it now that you guys just take over everything. We get the percentage and all that stuff, but we're still out there. We're still representing ourselves too. So what's that?
I'm trying to show you why a man is a natural leader.
We're naturally, we can be leaders too. You guys always just expect y'all to be always the natural leaders. A lot of us can be, we're all natural leaders in every single way. In every single way. So why is it always
why aren't there 50-50 police officers and 50-50 firemen? If you naturally want to do
that's the government thing. That's by the white man. That's dominant. That's the white man. White man take all over us. So what
Let me ask you something. Do you split dates when a guy takes you out on dates? Do you pay for the date?
If we go on dates, times he will pay for it, and sometimes I will pay for it.
Who pays for it? You go 50-50 every time?
Not 50-50 every time, but we make sure, like, if you got me the one time, I'll make sure if I want to take him out on the date, I'm going to pay for it. What happens
most of the time? Well, most of the time when guys take you out on dates, be honest with me, who pays? What happens with most people who date?
He pays, but also a woman can pay for it if she wants to take him on a date. No, listen. Why is it got to be just the male doing it?
With most people who date, who usually pays on a date? Men or women?
We know the men, but why can't
Okay, and let me follow you with this. So you want to now take away equality, right? When it comes to advantage. People who say like women should be right up there with men, they don't want to pay 50-50 for every date. Right there, you should be paying 50-50 for every date if you believe you're equal with every man. What I'm trying to show you is that a man always has higher responsibility because he's viewed as a leader. Right? That's why men pay. That's why men protect. That's why men provide. A man's job is to provide and protect. And the less you believe that, the more you will have problems with the man in your life.
So I got a question for you. What if the man can't protect at that moment? Then what? Then what's going to happen? This is just a hypothetical question. If you were, let's just say, if you were in a situation with you and your wife, and you know something happens, and you get hurt or you're down, and she has the way of protecting you to make sure you're okay, you wouldn't want that?
You're missing the point. You're missing the point here.
Answer my question. I'm really like seriously like.
Yes, I would. If my wife, if we were in trouble and I was shot and I had 2 bullets inside of me and my wife had a gun, I would want her to kill whoever was trying to kill us. Okay, so she's protecting you now too. Okay, yes. So now she's protecting you. So what's the problem of a female trying to protect her husband or her man? You're missing if a man can protect, yes, we see. Yeah, we appreciate that. So you're missing the point here. But you didn't answer my question. So I got what you're saying about your point. Yes, it's always the male. The male has the way of leadership, protecting, everything like that. But when you're in a relationship or you're married and it comes to certain situations or it comes to certain times that a man needs to be protected, how's that going to happen? Your wife's going to take care of you, right? You guys made an agreement to hold each other down. She'll probably get her ass beat trying to protect me.
How's she gonna try to get her ass beat? You never know who you might face with. She could be. You don't know what she.
Well, that's why I gave her a gun, because the other way, without the gun, is a bad decision. But yes, if there's a plane going down because the pilot fell asleep, the co-pilot should take over. But who's generally the head of that plane? Who should be the head most times?
We've been through that, but I'm just saying, what's your backup? What's your backup?
Let me say this: that spirit of fight. Because I have these conversations all the time, and I love it. You know what I mean? It's always great to have them. But I notice a lot of women come with that spirit of like, why this? Why what? I got this, and that's masculine. You shouldn't want to fight for a right to be acknowledged as a leader.
We're not trying
in
to
certain situations
fight, but it's like, okay, so going to that, I want him to protect me. I want him to play his role of doing what he needs to do in order to keep us together. But at the same time, it's like, we just want to make sure you guys see us. Okay, that's my bottom line. Like, we want you guys to understand.
See us?
Like, basically, we want you guys to understand we're here to take care of you. We always care about when it comes to the argument. Well, we did this, we did that, we did all.
Let me tell you why. A man doesn't want someone to protect him physically. He wants you to make him a sandwich.
Now that's disrespectful.
No, see, why is it disrespectful to cook for your man?
Because
you see that
you
right there.
You would never. Okay, we're here. We're here to do what we need to do. But at the same time, like that's disrespectful. Go make me a sandwich. No. So basically, you want us to be a housewife. You don't want us to do anything. You don't want us to have a job. You don't want us to put our dreams, our goals, or anything like that. You just want us to be there. That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yes. Mainly, a man wants you to mainly be a nurturing, feminine, submissive, take care of the kids. Yes, you're gonna work
no
part-time.
Job. So you're basically saying you don't want us to have a job.
Said you're gonna work part-time.
You want us to be a housewife. That's what you're saying.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I just said part-time.
First time, because I said if you want us to have that, if you want us to be a housewife, that's basically saying
he wants your mind
in the house. I'm not
your
working.
mind should be to nurture your home, your kids, to serve your husband.
Our home and our kids, but we still put our mindset to it too. You literally just said you rather for us to be a housewife. That means the only thing we do is cook, clean, and take care of the kids.
So
That's
listen,
it.
I said
we don't help make money. We don't do anything else. We are in the house doing nothing but cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. That's basically what you're telling me, correct?
It's impossible because most couples are going to have to work, which is why I said a woman should work part-time, full-time if she has to. I literally said that. But your main focus should be serving your husband, nurturing your kids. Your main focus should be serving your husband and nurturing your kids.
Basically, what I just said is a housewife. If I'm married to you, I want to help build the empire that we both deserve. It's not going to be the empire you want, no, because now we're in this together. I'm going to help build it too. You might do a little bit more. That's fine. I'll still handle business and do what I need to do, help with the kids, cooking.
So let me ask you something.
But I want to also do my job too.
One in four black women will marry. Do you think you're in a position to be making those type of demands?
What's wrong with that?
The type of demands you're there making, it's like you have leverage. I have these conversations so that women can see a glimpse of what men want, but they come with this energy. The same energy you're kind of coming with. Do you think that you are in the position right now, knowing 1 in 4 are going to marry, to say, no, this is how it's going to go? We're not going to do what you want. Do you think men are going to pick you when they hear that type of energy?
Why do you think we're going to always say no?
I'm saying if you come with the energy that you're coming and that I see on the show.
I'm coming with is not even, how do you think I'm going to say no all the time? My energy right now, I know I'm not going to say no all the time, or no, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. Because now you're taking it as, okay, we just say no.
I'm basing this off what you're presenting to me.
We're saying no all the time because we don't want to listen. No, what?
I'm basing that my questions off of our conversation, what you're telling me. And so from what I can tell right now, you're not willing to humble yourself and go on a man's plan, right? Because men want women who are going to be on their plan, on their schedule.
So you're saying I'm not humble enough?
Do I think that you're humble enough for a man, a leader? No.
So again, you're saying I'm not humble enough because I'm not agreeing to what you need me to do.
A man wants an agreeable woman who's going to get on his schedule and who's going to want to support his dreams, who's going to be his sidekick, who's going to be his biggest supporter. That's what he wants.
Okay, so why can't we just do that and you can't? So we could support you guys, but you can't support us?
Not for the bigger picture.
So you can't support your wife? Or
not follow her. You can't follow her. We can support her emotion.
So you don't want to support your wife. So then why did you marry her?
See, you're okay. You totally missed.
I'm not missing. No,
you're missing the point.
Anything. I'm not missing no point. We have discussed plenty of points. Remember going back when you were saying about the president and vice president? Well, vice president could have some types to say or to feel. Hey,
that's the thing that you're missing. I am not saying that you can never listen.
That when you just
because you don't listen.
Did
you're
you
not
just say that?
You're
you
not
did not
listening.
just say that. No, it's okay. I'm definitely listening because you literally just said.
Go ahead.
Literally just said. If we're not humble enough, to follow your footsteps,
if you're not able to humble yourself for your man, he's not gonna pick you.
Okay, but if a man can't even humble himself, a girl's not gonna want to deal with that type of man. Like you got both parts. Like yes,
men are getting married. Men are getting married. The problem
here is men. Too.
1 out of 4
black women.
Yes, 1 out of 4 black women will get married
to a black man.
Period.
Okay, what about a white man?
Period.
Okay.
These are statistics. You can look them up yourself. These conversations are made so that we can come to an agreement and understanding of what's missing. And I'll let you finish it off, and then I have one final question for you.
Go ahead.
And then we'll wrap it up. But go ahead.
Okay. At the end of the day, I do agree to the point. Okay, certain things for a female should not do, but at the same time, it's not fair that we have to do all of this for you guys and you can't reciprocate it back. I know what I need to do. But at the same time, I would like my husband to support me as well as I'm supporting him, as I'm making sure he's okay, as I'm making sure I'm making sure he's fed, doing this and this and that. He should be the same way with me. That's just how I take it as. Like, why can't it just be a
Still don't get that. Okay. So my final question is, looking at this whole conversation and looking at the video, have you learned anything and taken away anything from this conversation?
Yeah, like it's just, I did. What I learned, it was just basically like understanding what a male thinks about a female when it's like showing her, like her being more independent, as I should say. We get that we want to be there for you. We want to make sure you're nurtured, you're fine, the kids are fine, everything's like that. But at the same time, it's like we want to make sure we're getting that same energy. If that makes sense. So that's basically.
Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you. Yeah. Nevertheless, everyone I have a conversation with, overall, I wish them the best.
Of course.
And hey guys, if you guys can do me a quick favor, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button so you show your boys some love. And also to the guest, hey, hope you took something away from this conversation and wish you the best. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Show is called No Cap, man. It's called No Cap. Let us know what you thought overall. Till next time, I'm out.
Bye.